and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Tuesday, the 13th of May. I am Flatcap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, we'll start the channel week. I took Monday off. Sometimes just need a mental break from the horses, YouTube, all the rest of it. And then, I was in two minds about Tuesday, but I went to have a little spin through and I got to 5 horses. So we will play them. 5 horses, 5 races. So it's my usual 5 horse bet where it's win doubles, each way trebles, 4 folds, a little bit more on the 5 fold. Hopefully we'll get one at some point soon. It's a £12 outlay to start the week, and it will probably be quite a busy week with York. We'll see. I say that, probably to get there and not find I like anything, but I'm expecting it to be a busy week. The last few have been around about the £70 mark per week. So we've got to do the review of we didn't play Monday to Sunday, touch on last week and overall where we're at to, and then if there's a few bits of stats I've run from last week as well, which I thought were mildly interesting. Well, I think they're a little bit interesting, but we'll see. So the review, it was a funny one Sunday. Not close enough, as too far back. They didn't want that one to run well, did they? Literally, I mean, sometimes you watch these things, and if anyone didn't watch that race, it was like they all got going except that one. It was just jogging along out the back, and then we're like, all right, we're in the straights. We probably should try now, but it's obviously too late, so we're not going to get anywhere near, are we? So that was disappointing. That wasn't up to much, and then it was all on the lucky last, which was lucky. So Eldrick Jones, number 1 choice, beat Zips, number 2 choice. So I've about half a dozen messages, I think, from either on the channel or from people emailing me telling me that they did well out the forecast. To be completely honest, I did not play the forecast myself. Just 13, 14 runners. Maybe clearly I should have done it. It was £160 it paid for £1, but I did not. So the channel got about £9.90 of £12, lost a £2.10. So we ended up last week minus 31, which means we're minus 35 for the year because we've had a bad May. So we're minus more than that for May. So May has brought us down. We went into May ahead and we are now behind. So we need something decent because we've had 3 weeks on the bounce of not great stuff, and we had 1 small win on Saturday, which is like 1 win in 16 videos, something like that. So you've got a health warning. To add to the health warning, so last week I ran the numbers because at the weekend we obviously came out marginally ahead if you just isolated Saturday and Sunday. But in my head, I had a bit of a hypothesis, because that's what you do when you're like a really sort of like highfalutin mathematician type person. It's not me. But the Irish horses are the ones that are letting us down at the moment. So over the weekend, we had 9 UK horses, 5 of them framed, and 3 of those won at 14s, 12s, and 12s. We had 4 Irish horses, and none of them framed. So that was the weekend. So 5 from 13 in total, 5 from 9 were UK, and 3 of those 5 won. That's framers, and 0 from 4 Ireland. If you actually look at the whole of last week, 22 UK horses running in the UK, 8 of them framed, 4 of them won. 14s, 12s, 12s, 12s and 12s, 3 12s and a 14, albeit there was a bit of a rule 4, a lot of a rule 4 on one of those. And Ireland, we had 1 framer out of 9. So I'm just keeping a bit of an eye. It's not enough of a sample size to get excited about or worried about and all that kind of stuff. It was just a noticing that the Irish ones are the ones that seem to be letting us down a little bit. And then I'm rolling in Tuesday. I'm telling you, I've got 5 horses and 3 of them are in Ireland. So that's why I'm giving you that little bit of preamble for you, because I'm able just to spin through the horses pretty quick. So, where are we? All right, we're going to start 4 o'clock at Worcester. And interesting as well, we've got tracks I don't play it very often. Worcester I don't play on the channel very often at all. So 4 o'clock Worcester, Mistletoe, 14s. Then the only flat UK horse we've got is Vape in the 420. That came out really, really clear on the stats. So I think it's one of those ones where it should, if it runs to form 100%, that's a framer horse all day. So we'll see. It doesn't necessarily have to run to form. I think it's running fresh as well. It hasn't run this season. Then we're going 2 at Sligo, which I rarely play at all. And there's quite a few of these like outlier Irish tracks that, Sligo's your Ross Commons and not get too excited about. But 6 o'clock Sligo, end cost of 20-1. I think that's got some nice value in it in a race like that, where I think it could be tried. We'll see. 7:30 Sligo, True Destiny, 10-1, shortest of the bunch, but I think it's a pretty good bet for particularly if we carry on getting 5 places. And then the one that I scraped in at the end is the veteran 11-year-old in a flat handicap. It's my sort of gig. Jer and me, and 16-1 I thought was an okay enough price. Would want a few more points ideally, but it was just in. It's with different connections. Is it Kevin Prendergast? I think I've got that. Remember that right? I think it's Kevin Prendergast and Jack Cleary, maybe something like that. Who's riding? But yeah, it's run 4 times at Dundalk in the last few months. Well, I said beginning of the year. And that was coming off something like an 18-month break. And clearly it's not the form that it was in terms of, it's 11 and it's lost a bit of spark. But it ran competitively enough in most of those races. And switching back to turf, if you go right back, 3 years ago, its standout best run was winning a race over the course and distance on a similar sort of ground. So there's a bit of previous in there. I'm not a fan of Killarney for picking. I mean, it looks like a lovely racetrack, right? So no issue with Killarney, the place or the racetrack. But in terms of trying to actually pick horses, Killarney's not normally kind to me. So we've got Sligo and Killarney, not normally kind. We've got on a bad run of Irish horses. There we go. We're underneath the mistletoe, having a vape, seeing if anything happened in Ireland. So. Anyway, there we are. 10 times 20p win doubles, 10 times 15p each way trebles, 5 times 15p each way fourfolds, and a 25p each way fivefold. That is £7. Just for ease, we've done 50p each way singles on the 5 of them. I could debate slim margins about whether I should do win only on some of the shorter ones, but we're just for ease, we're doing 50p each way singles. Bookie advice, basically. Most of them, Sky 365, Hills, Betfred, Betway, Ball Sports 88, I've put it written up there. The ones to avoid are Corals and Ladbrokes. They are 1 less place on the 2 5-runner handicaps, so those are a reason to avoid those. And Paddy and Betfair are only 3 on this when everyone else is 4. So I'm saying really avoid Coral and Ladbrokes definitely, and Paddy and Betfair if you can avoid it, so that you don't run the risk of that horse coming forth. That is me. All right, I think that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah, aiming to be playing a bit of York all week. We'll see how we go. In horse racing news, if you want horse racing news, Rachel Blackmore's retired suddenly. So she had a win on Sunday, and she was scheduled to ride at Sligo on Tuesday, but it's not running. It's retired with immediate effect. If you look at her career, it's pretty bonkers. She literally had a Cheltenham Festival winner like 6 years ago, and then knocked in 18 of them, won all the big races, won the Grand National. Like, unreal career, for like in a short space of condensed time as well. So yeah, good wishes to her in her jockey retirement, whatever she's doing next. And the big news clearly is the French 1,000 guineas. I mean. Yeah, I know there's lots of people on there because there's another horsey type YouTuber who runs a syndicate for it. All day long, that horse was absolutely robbed, wasn't it? Like, you can't really say anything else from that. It didn't touch another horse. Yes, it drifted, but actually it was the middle horse that won that bumped the French horse. So that was the one that technically impeded. Like, I know it, there was a bit of a drift on it. But then the fact when you actually look and you see the breakdown of the Mikel Barcelona slapped his horse 12 times, and 9 whips is a disqualification, but because he dropped his whip, he didn't have a whip, so he slapped it instead, and he slapped it more times than he would have whipped it. But that apparently is okay because there's nothing in the rules say how many times you can slap a horse. Come on. Come on, like home ground bias or what? Like, come on, that's ridiculous. Like, I've got no no sweat, no what do you call it? Skin in the game for this one, right? Horse that first passed the post, that should be the winner. Like for my money, yes, it drifted, but actually the other horse was the one that bumped. So yeah, I think that was a UK track. That result would stand as is. So yeah, commiserations to anyone involved in that horse, because I don't think it's going to get overturned, but I do think it was the wrong decision. So we will see. There you go. There you go, some horse racing news for you. That's it. Right, I'll be back on the next vid. Hope you've started your week well, and let's hope we get a nice week this week. That's what we would like. I would like that. You would like that. Let's do that. The main thing is, guys, we try and keep a smile on our face, win, lose or draw. This is supposed to be light-hearted, bit of fun. You know, as well as me giving you some pearls of wisdom, if some people would interpret those differently, but some would suggest they are. It's about just, you know, as some people have said historically, having a coffee in the morning and, you know, having a smile on your face when you're having your coffee or when you're on your night shift or wherever it might be. And then this gets a weird thing when you realise some people end up watching this video sat on a toilet because they're working or whatever. I'm not getting into that. Alright, see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.